Are you recording? How's she cutting? Canadians use maple syrup as a sexual lubricant. That's just one crazy fact about Canadian people. Are you having that? Eh? Quick. Okay, so the first Canadian fact about Canadian people. Can you put it up there? Can you put it up there? Canadian people, they built the longest street in the world. It's called Yonge Street, and she's 2,000 kilometers in length. Now, speaking of the longest, I got the longest in the world. They also have the longest coastline on the planet. Are you having that? Okay, so the next crazy Canadian fact is that back in 1967, Canadian people built the very first UFO landing pad in the world. They must have known the Irish were coming. They must have known the bloody Irish were coming. Go on! Can I just take a little break from the crazy facts? I'll just make myself up here a sandwich. Okay, so I'm just going to make myself here the official Irish Canadian sandwich. Do you see the way Irish came first? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not my fault. It just came out of me tongue. Okay, so you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need a couple of buns. You're going to need a breast of cabbage. And finally, because it's an Irish Canadian sandwich, you're going to need some traditional maple syrup. Maple syrup, they call it over there. Jesus, they must have got that from the UFO landing space. They must have got that from the UFO landing space. This is directly from Canada. They flew it in on a polar bear. You're going to need to slap your breast onto one of the buns. And finally, but not finally, you're going to need some maple syrup. Okay, and you're going to need to slither and slather maple syrup all over one of the kiboshes and just drizzle it all over your breast and buns. Just drizzle it all over your breast and buns till she tells you to stop. Till she tells you to stop. Just like that. Oh, look at that. It's after going all over my hand. Now just put one bun on top of the other. Hold her in your hand really tight. Tell her you love her. Give her a kiss. And give her an old bite. Ah! Oh yeah. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? She's sticky, isn't she? It's the bottle sticky. Everything's sticky about her. That's a traditional Irish Canadian sandwich. The world's first Irish Canadian sandwich. Are you having that? I'll tell you that maple syrup. It's like, it tastes like if you're sucking the nose of a Canadian woman. That's what it tastes like if you got close to a Canadian woman and you asked her, can I suck your nose? Can I suck your nose? That's what it tastes like. That's what it tastes like. Okay, so we get rid of this for the minute. We get back to the crazy facts. Canadian people have the world's safest highways for animals. That's right. Oh, I bet you they don't have to worry about bloody beer molds. I bet you they don't have to worry about bloody beer molds. Get out with you! Okay, so the next crazy fact is that some Canadian people in spring harvest icebergs in Labrador of Newfoundland. It's called Iceberg Alley, and it's beside the bowling alley. Ah, look at that! The last crazy Canadian fact is that Vancouver Island, Vancouver, is home to the annual bathtub race. A bloody bathtub race! This crazy competition started back in 1967, which, if you remember a couple of facts before, was the same year they built the bloody UFO base. Jesus, 1967 Canada must have been brilliant. It must have been bloody brilliant. Jeez, I'll tell you something, Canada was drinking something back then. You were drinking something back in 67. The racers are called tubbers, and to this day, there's a parade in Canada Town where the bats line the streets and all the women. Jesus, I'm moving to Canada. Just, I'll tell you, Canada sounds great, doesn't it? Bathtubs in the middle of the street. You can wash your willy whenever you want. You can wash it wherever you want. The eyes of a Canadian woman are like the nipples of the face. The nipples of the face. That's a bloody fact. That's a fact. I'm like a baby, you see. I love breastfeeding. I love breastfeeding Canadian women. Breast is best. Breast is bloody blessed. They play ice hockey, don't they, over there? With their Zambonis. I'll tell you, if it was a female hockey game, I'd get a bloody Zamboner. I'd get a bloody Zamboner. Okay, so that's it. That's all the crazy Canadian facts. Subscribe. Sex like. You didn't see that coming. Get your local crazy trailer park boys to subscribe. And please, will you let me know? Are you bloody having that? Are you having that? A. Are you having that? A. Are you having that? A. I got the longest in the world. Are you having that?